This is the IndyCar Report with Elijah Poe. This is Elijah Poe speaking, and it's officially the greatest month of the year for IndyCar fans. Welcome to the IndyCar Report again. We've had open testing days for the Indianapolis 500 the past couple of days, and I'm going to swing it to Greg for some results.
Well, thank you so much, Elijah. Welcome, everybody. And surprise, Kyle Collette, I guess it was kind of toe-aided, but the fastest of the 2 days, the 4 sessions, 226.381. I believe that was Wednesday morning, Elijah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to see a rookie up there, but I can't say I'm too surprised with how strong AJ Foyt has been at the track these last couple of years. But then again, to see a rookie up there, his first time running laps around the 500, it's impressive, is it not?
Very impressive. In fact, everybody he's in front of would be considered serious Indy 500 contender. Second fastest, Joseph Newgarden, 226.223. And Elijah, if the Penske cars are fast in May, Joseph Newgarden's the favorite, right?
Yeah, I think he had the best shot to win it last year before he had that fuel pressure issue. He started in 33rd and was in 8th place by the time he was out with about 50 laps to go. I think he's just got this track figured out alongside with all ovals. He's just going to be a competitor anytime these cars turn real left, real fast.
And in his Dreyer and Reinbold machine, Elijah, Connor Daly, 225.394, was the third fastest and the most consistently at the top of the charts in the 4 sessions.
Yeah, I think it's a great sign for just how his month of May should go in general. I think his past 4 finishes at the 500 are all within the top 10, so he's really got this speedway figured out. He kind of always has. But, if you give him the equipment to maybe even win a race, I would be shocked to see him not be able to pull it off because the skill he has around this place, it's impeccable.
If you're Dennis Reinbold, you got to be really excited about your opportunity here.
Yeah, I would think so. I would love for them to maybe even run more races because I think we've seen it in these 4 sessions that Connor Daly, even though he might not be the best on street and road courses, if you get him on an oval, and he's going side by side with arguably one of the best oval racers ever, Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, give me Connor Daly all day. I can't believe that he's been relegated to a one-off, but that's what it is. It's the world of IndyCar racing right now.
It's a shame because, especially in Indianapolis, there's not a driver more beloved than Connor Daly in the 317 area code. That's for damn sure.
No doubt about it. Probably the 765 and the 812 as well. Fourth fastest is defending champion, 3-time reigning series champion, and the favorite going into the month of May, Alex Palou, 225.272.
Yeah, he's going to be a contender everywhere. And it's crazy that we're saying this everywhere, including the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is one of the hardest races to win. But he did it last year, and with that confidence, I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes inside the top 3. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he won the race again. He's just that good.
Yeah, this top 10 is insane, Elijah.
It
Fifth,
is.
Elio Castro Neves, 225.200. I think he was the second fastest of the first session, just right out of the box. He said, I'm here to compete.
Yeah, I think that MSR car is going to be really, really strong. Obviously, it was strong when he won it a couple years back. But just for him to have the possibility of a drive for 5, obviously never been done, and it would be crazy if he was able to get it done.
After last year, I thought maybe the whole thing was over, but it really looks like this year he is back and better than ever. He seems like he's in really good spirits as well.
Yeah, and I think that you made a good point there. Last year, he was just kind of flew under the radar. Was never really a true challenger in any form, man. And honestly, the month of May is better when Elio just has a little bit of swagger to him and could maybe pull out a result that he's not expected to.
Yeah, nobody can change their car to the way they like it on the fly at Indy like he can, as we've seen over and over again.
He's just a special talent. It'd just be a shame. I couldn't even imagine what the month of May would look like without Elliott in the car, just because you just know every year he's got a long shot to pull something out somewhere and end up with a good result. So it should be really exciting to watch him really all throughout the month of May.
Sixth fastest, Pato Award, 225.109. My pick to win this race coming into the season.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's a good sign for Pato Ward and Aaron McLaren. And it's not shocking to see him up there at this point, just because the past 3, 4 years he's been so good around Indianapolis. He's been really buying his time to maybe get a shot at winning one, and I would not be surprised if he got that shot this year.
Man, this test was really all about experience. Seventh fastest Takuma Sato in his one-off for Ray Hall Letterman, 224.957.
Every year I'm just reminded how much of a freak Takuma Sato is. He's just
Ooh.
so good at Indy. So good. It blows my mind every year how quick he is. And the lines he takes, I swear he's going to hit the wall on turn 2 every time, but he never does.
Unreal.
It's incredible.
Unreal. Never seen like it. Actually, if you remember Thomas Scheckter, very similar kind of driver, but Takuma Sato ended up in victory lane at Indy twice. Scheckter wasn't quite able to take advantage of his opportunities, but very similar styles, fun to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, and if that all car keeps it up, he's obviously always a contender in qualifying, but we've seen him win this race twice. I would not be surprised. He could put himself in a position to pounce. It's a really good field, but he's got the experience.
Eighth fastest 2009 champion Scott Dixon, 224.564.
Yeah, I really hope Scott Dixon can turn these 2 days of testing into a good month of May. Obviously, had those brake issues that happened in the warm-up laps of last year that pretty much just put him out of the race on lap 1. And there's nobody who's more deserving to have a 2-time Indianapolis 500 champion than Scott Dixon, and I think anybody would say that.
Ninth fastest, David Malukas, his first year with Penske, 224.377.
I think he's going to be a real sleeper.
Yeah.
We've seen how good he is on these ovals, and his
Yep.
name's not really getting thrown around much, other than it's his first 500 with Penske. And I think he's got a real shot to win this thing.
He is really good on ovals, Elijah. Sometimes a couple of races we've watched over the past, he's like hasn't won, but has been the standout driver on ovals, and he definitely has a shot.
Yeah, he's eventually going to get it.
And then in 10th is 2016 winner Alexander Rossi, 224.367.
10th year anniversary of him winning his 500 as a rookie. I wouldn't be surprised to see those ECR cars be competitive. They usually pretty good around the 500, and I think if Rossi gets put in the right situation, we've seen him win it before.
Number 12, Romain Grosjean. 11th fastest was Romain Grosjean. 12th, Felix Rosenqvist. 13th, Jacob Abel.
What a performance by Jacob Abel. I think he's easily the highlight of that group with the one-off with Abel Motorsports. I think it's awesome. He really struggled last year in that Miller High Life car, but what a performance by him. And I also think good for Grosjean, maybe sticking some good laps in here. I think it'd be super fun if you competitive throughout the whole month of May.
And don't forget about Felix Rosenqvist, man. He is a good one.
I think he's a sneaky contender. I was on the broadcast in the last 4 or 500s. He's either finished in 4th place or 27th. He's finished in 4th twice and 27th twice.
That's impossible.
It sounds impossible. I know. I couldn't believe the stat when they said it, but it's pretty insane. So he's obviously got the skills to be up there and running when the laps are coming down to the end. If he's up there, he's easily got a shot because he's been so great the whole year.
14th fastest was Renus VK. 15th, Scott McLaughlin.
Interesting to see Scotty Mack down there, but It is testing, and I think no matter what, those Penske cars are going to be a factor. They always are. And I think he has a really good shot. I think he obviously is wanting to redeem himself after spinning out on the warm up last year. And what a year he could maybe set himself up for. How about that yellow submarine livery as well? It just looks good.
It's amazing. 16th, Santino Ferrucci. 17th, the fastest rookie, Dennis Hauger. 18th, Will Power.
Interesting to see Will Power down there, and honestly, that's a fine spot for Dennis Hauger, I would say. But those Andretti cars haven't really been eye popping this whole test. Can say it again, it is testing, but to not see like maybe one or two good results, it's a little concerning. But I'm not super worried about them. They're usually pretty strong.
That's exactly how I'd put it, Elijah. A little concerning, not that concerned.
Yeah,
19th, Marcus Armstrong. 20th, Mick Schumacher.
not a horrible result, I would say, for Mick. Uh, I think he's only going to get better as the month of May goes. And for Marcus Armstrong, I think he's probably going to be in that camp where I expect him to maybe contend with Felix Rosenqvist, but I don't think he'll have a really super stellar month of May. But I think he could easily have maybe a top 10 in there.
By the way, Collette ran the most laps, 227, and Schumacher ran the second most, unsurprisingly, 215. Of course, the rookies had their own session as well, and refreshers. The one-offs and the rookies had their refresher as well.
Yeah, I think it's good. And I know Catherine Lake was able to do her refresher as well, uh, which is great. Get all these drivers are one-offs, the most experience as they can, because the guys they're going against, man, this field is stacked.
Yeah, I think Christian Lundgaard 21st and Graham Rahal 22nd have to be a little disappointed.
I think it's a little bit better for Graham in the fact that he's just not dead last like he was in day one. Because
That's right.
I don't want I would hate to see Graham go through this little Astro shootout and everything. It's been brutal for him the last 3 or 4 years at the 500. It's been a shame. And Christian Lundgaard as well. I think if he wants to compete in the championship, he's going to need to turn it around at Indy because he has not really been great around that old.
No one wants to see angry Graham Rahal.
No, no, they do not.
Jack Harvey was 23rd. Another one-off. Stingray Robb 24th. Nolan Siegel 25th. Ed Carpenter 26th.
Yeah, that's a group that I am not going to be watching, admittedly, too much during the month of May. I can maybe expect Nolan Siegel just because he's in an Aero McLaren. And around Indy, I feel like it's definitely harder to close that gap, but the car also plays a huge factor in positioning around Indy. But it's going to be interesting to see also where Ed Carpenter lines up. Always pretty good on qualifying. You know that Ed Carpenter car has speed where Rossi was at, but they're definitely going to be interesting to watch. Definitely a little bit on the back burner of how many good competitors there are.
Kyle Kirkwood down in 27th, Elijah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with Will Power. It's just a little concerning to see him so far down there, especially when we know how good Plo is going to be. And I read that Plo was actually on his uh, Long Beach car, so that Ganassi car was not on the oval spec.
Wow.
So that could also be a different factor. I'm not sure how many cars were on Long Beach. I think a good amount, maybe a couple ambulance were. But still, we need those Andretti's to challenge. If Kirkwood is going to challenge him to the championship.
Yeah, May will be different for sure. These are not going to be what we're going to be looking at later down the line, but they do it for a reason, and we report on it for a reason because it's not insignificant.
Yeah, they wouldn't line him up first to 33rd if it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. Ryan Hunter-Ray was 28th. Christian Rasmussen 29th. Kiffin Simpson 30th.
I'd say it's concerning for all of them, but I'm not really super worried about Ryan Hunter-Ray. Usually that one-off car for that Aaron McLaren seat is a really damn good car. And if there's anyone who knows his way around Indianapolis, it's Ryan Hunter-Ray. Christian Rasmussen, I think, will be faster in the month of May as well. We know how good he is on the ovals. And I personally cannot wait to see him in qualifying, especially in the race. It's going to be so fun to watch.
I want to point out one more time that there's an Arrow McLaren car in 25th and a Ganassi in 30th, and just go from there. It's just they got to do better. All right, here we go. 31st, Marcus Ericsson.
Yeah, it's same thing with all these Andretti's. It's just weird to see. We know how good Marcus Ericsson is around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's probably arguably top 5 right now in the sport the last 5 years at IMS. It's just been incredible. But it still is concerning to see him down there. Maybe they were running the Long Beach car, and maybe they were trying to do some different test runs and everything, but you still don't want to be down at last near the bottom row.
And then Louis Foster, 32nd. It really shows how impressive Takuma Sato was when you look at that. And then Catherine Legg was quite a bit even behind him. She only ran 82 laps. She'll have to put in a lot of laps in May.
Yeah, she will. That car was actually being built all of day one of testing. So she was unable to run because it was a kind of a last minute deal. It didn't really happen until a couple of days before testing. But she was able to get her program done and at least dust it off for the month of May. So she should be ready for a full month of May, which really should be a great car. In partnering up with HMD Motorsports and AJ Foy Racing, that also has a technical alliance with Penske. So she might be in the best car she's ever been in around Indianapolis here soon.
Man, those Arrow McLaren cars look nice, didn't they?
Those test liveries, they should just keep them for the month of May. They were beautiful.
There were quite a few out there that I was like, ooh, that's a nice looking car.
Yeah, they had some really good liveries in the month of May. I love how Santino keeps his red, white, and blue for AJ Foy. It should be a great month of May. I think they're getting ready to announce the Grand Send out here later this week, which I think would break last year's 500 by 3 weeks. So it's been impressive. The hype around the 500 this year feels a little bit different than in years past.
Elijah, I went to 34 Indianapolis 500s in a row, and after the 100th, I said, I'm just not going to do it anymore. But I'm really tempted this year.
I'll be there. You should go.
I don't like the crowds anymore. I don't like fighting getting in. Don't like the fighting getting out. I felt like I did it enough. I like it on TV, but this one kind of feels like you kind of need to be there.
I tell everybody the 500 is great, but it is the longest damn day you'll ever have in your life.
Elijah, I think the pre-race is going to be worth the price of it. 250th anniversary, just the feeling this is going to be a special pre-race this year. I don't know. I could be tempted to go, but I probably won't. I always loved going. Kind of love sitting at home watching it with producer Susie even more. Thank you so much to Elijah. Thank you so much for listening. Please do us a huge favor. Share this podcast with an IndyCar fan in your life and help us spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is talking about whatever Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day. Thanks again. Hey, Susie, it's May. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.